Thank you for listening to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. Some said we would go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here. The camp was so small, it's mini. Coming up on this edition of the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl, Seany J and I discuss who stood out during the Lions minicamp, and we cover what's going on around the NFL in 2 points conversing. All this and more coming up right now on the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Watch out. Here comes that roar. What up, dude? This is Curt, Steele, and welcome to the Die Hard Den podcast. And as always, I'm with my man, Seany J.
Hey, Curtis, how you doing, Lion fans?
Hey, man, today? It's good to be here, man. Minicamp is here, man. Actually, today was the last day. We're going to be heading to the last set of OTAs next week. But you know what it's time to do, my man. It is time to start the show off and tell me something good. So, Seany J, you up first, my man. Tell me something good.
Well, as I say in the previous podcast, Curtis, the Lions seem to be buying into Campbell, a new all-star coaching staff he put together, because 88 of the 90 possible players showed up to this minicamp. And keep in mind, we have one spot open, so we'll have 89 signed players on the contract because we have one spot open. Mm-hmm. And the person who missed Austin Bryant had a slight injury, minor injury, so they're saving him for training camp. But like I said, we talked about him in the past. I can say real quickly about Bryant.
Yeah.
Talented, very talented. He was part of that awesome defensive line at Clemson.
Yeah.
But he couldn't, like Nick Baldwin, he can't stay healthy, and he's got a lot of competition. So this is a big camp for him, a big year. Will he make the team? Will he future in the NFL? It's a big year for Austin Bryant.
Yeah. To me, I think the writing's on the wall for him, just because if he just cannot stay healthy, and I think with this regime, the best ability is availability. But I hope he gets better, and I hope he can put some things on some tape for other teams to see here during the training camp coming up next month.
One thing, you remember Tracy Hayward from back in the day?
No.
Oh, no. Player. Okay, never mind.
Nah. All right, my man. Thanks for that. All right, now I'm up. It's time to tell me something good. For me, Jamie Collins and his girlfriend, Katrina Jackson. Now, they call her Cat Tats. She was a celebrity tattoo artist. She was on the Black Ink Crew Chicago. They recently had a baby boy. His name is Jackson Frederick Collins. He was born a few days ago. He was 8 pounds and 10 ounces. This is why Jamie Collins was not in the OTAs for the forced portions. So congratulations to Jamie Collins and his girlfriend, Katrina Jackson, on the birth of their son.
Yes, congratulations to the Collins, and this is also a big year for Jamie because new regime. Mm-hmm. You got some young studs at linebacker, and he may be, a numbers thing. Veteran contract. It's a big camp for him too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that was Tell Me Something Good this week. We always try to start it off with positive news and notes from around the Detroit Lions. Next up, we have to go on the ball where we talk about the offense. First up, we got Jared Goff, my man. Jared Goff is making some big strides in the offense, but he still has some work to do. Threw a couple of picks down there in the goal lines and 707s, but they say he has some control of the offense. He throws a pretty ball, and his arm is a lot stronger, reports coming out of Allen Park than some people thought. So he's getting his feet wet in Detroit in the new offense. What do you think about Jared Goff and his role as QB1 with Detroit?
I love it. Like I said, I told people Goff has talent. He's a former top pick himself. He's not a Jamarcus Russell or Jeff George. He's a legitimate player. Now, like I say, he played in the Super Bowl already in his young career and 2 Pro Bowls. He made a youthful mistake, I guess, when he fell out with the coach out there by flirting with his girlfriend.
Man, don't be spreading no rumors on this show. Man, we spread that rumor down. Don't be spread that rumor down.
But anyway,
I ain't messing with you.
The thing is, I think it was a fresh start for both him and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
they get a fresh start, a chance to revitalize their careers.
Mm-hmm.
They both top picks. I wanted Stafford here this year. I like Stafford. I'm a Stafford fan.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having him here, but he wants to go, and the best thing to do is let a person go when he's ready to go.
Yeah,
and we got some value in return. We just get a 5th round draft pick for Stafford. I mean, we got a lot of return for Stafford, including a starting quarterback.
Quarterback and 2 first-round draft picks. So, we robbed the bank on that one.
We did.
Yeah, definitely. We had the ski mask on that deal. But yeah, I do like Jared Goff. He's getting some strides. He's working with Anthony Lynn, and he's becoming an integral part of this system. Dan Campbell's very pleased with him. It's going to be some growing pains. And early on, usually in training camps, just because of the install, it's easier for the defense to really get ahead of the offense just because of the fact that really defense is more instinctive, but instead of the offense, and I get that from a man, Coach Jones, over there from the OMG Lions Talk. He said made that statement, I think yesterday or something like that, and I have to agree with him. Defense is more instinctive, and they always have their leg up when it comes to new systems and stuff like that. So I'm not really worried about it. I think he'll be okay going forward. All right, next up, we have the dynamic duo is showing out in minicamp. DAndre Swift and Jamal Williams are proven to be a good combination so far for the Lions. They have been toasting linebackers out of the backfield and really been breaking people's ankles. DAndre Swift juked the guy so hard the other day is that Alex Brown, the dude came up limping. He really broke his ankles in a move in drills. So I think they're going to be a formidable duo coming out of that backfield.
Yes, I like them too. This is why they're not in a hurry or change your mind on signing Todd Gurley, because we already got 2 good backs, and they might give a young back, like I said, one of the younger backs, like the draft pick Jefferson, Oregon State, the rookie, and maybe this other guy they signed, give the job to a young guy instead of Gurley.
Yeah.
So that's why Todd Gurley hasn't been signed yet, because he basically be third string, and I don't know if Gurley want to be third string. He and this might still starter. Yeah. So I like the 2 guys too. I like Williams, I like Swift, but can he stay healthy? That's the question.
Definitely. And because we already lost the running back. We lost your boy Rakeem Boyd, last chance you got. He went out with injury. The Lions waived him. We signed Michael Warren to the squad, but hopefully the young fella can get healthy and make a squad. So good luck to him. All right, next up, here is the big story, and this is who I think is going to be really great this season. T.J. Hockenson has been virtually unguardable during minicamp. He has been toasting everyone. I think there's been like one play he's had not scored down in the 707s when he's been targeted. He's creating some great chemistry with Jared Goff. So TJ is doing his thing. I expected that. What do you think, Johnny J?
I did too. Remember in the post I did in our group a couple months ago, 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 10 TDs.
Yeah,
I already said it. I already went on record saying it. That's what I expect from him.
Sean Stradamus, you know what I'm saying? He's making predictions.
As long as he's not reckless like he was in his rookie season, trying to leap over people and all that stuff, getting concussion and a broken ankle. Hope he learned his lesson. Stay healthy. Take care of your body. Protect your body. But dude, I love TJ. But dude, that hairstyle, I don't know, man.
Hey, he looking like a young Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Dan Campbell was playing in Detroit. He had that long mane going on. He's channeling his inner lion. You know what I'm saying? He wants that long mane. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like them lions do, baby. That's what he's doing. All right. Next up, we definitely have to talk about the wide receiver room, because that's, we talk about how bad they were, and what I'm saying, nobody was who's gonna step up and show their face. And it's been 2 guys who's really been making some big plays in the minicamp, actually throughout the whole OTAs, and that's Victor Bolden and Quintez Cephas is stepping up in the wide receiver room. They've been breaking some ankles, making some big catches, doing the one-on-one drills and the 7-on-7. So what do you think about the two young fellas, Victor Bolden, which is probably, saying a little bit of a stretch, because he's that guy hasn't caught on yet. And really Quintez Cephas, who's generally like the most longest tenured wide receiver on the Lions, and is only his second year.
Yeah, now I said, two young guys I'm looking forward to are Quintez Cephas, of course, the rookie Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Those are the future and the present. And of course, you go to the two veterans they signed, Brashad Perriman and Terrell Williams. But the young guys, those two young guys should make the team. But like you said, Victor Bolden, he's a wild card. Now, it's early. It's only minicamp. Like I said, we'll talk about this later, how much you can really glean and learn from minicamp. We'll talk about that later. Is minicamp, is it a good predictor of what will happen this season? We have to wait until he plays against some actual competition to answer that question, like preseason.
Yeah.
But Victor Bolden, he's making his bid to make the team's a long shot. He's a dark horse. He's a wild card. But hey, I give it up to him. He's working hard. He's trying to make a squad.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing his thing, making some plays, and he's trying to make his mark. He has pretty much a fresh start with the new regime, so he can make his way into the lineup. You know what I'm saying? It's really completely on him because they want guys to be competitive, and if he can outwork some guys and make the roster, more power to him. So they're all about competing with this new regime, with the new coaching staff. So that is on the ball this week. We talked about who has stood out during the mini camp on the offensive side of the ball. Now let's switch to the defensive side of the ball and defend the den. All right, first up, we have the biggest really surprise, and he's really the name that's standing out the most in minicamp right now. Will Harris making some big plays during the goal line 7-on-7 in minicamp. He has 2 interceptions of Jared Goff during the 7-on-7s down near the goal line, the red zone. So Will Harris is stepping up, making a name for himself doing the mini camp this week.
He's another guy, a big year, needs to step up. I mean, we traded Golden Tate away from him, a very popular, productive player who I really like. He was a former third-round pick. With Will Harris. He didn't do much. He didn't do much at all his first 2 seasons in the NFL. Like I say, this is make or break. They brought in a lot of free agents, and they're still talking about bringing in free agents. Still need safety help. Yeah. So once again, Will Harris is another guy, is a prove-it-to-me guy, who needs to take every opportunity, every mini camp, every practice, every weightlifting session to impress Dan Campbell and the coaching staff. He wants to make the squad, or at least put out some tape for other teams to watch.
Yeah, definitely. He's the biggest name. A couple other guys, they said Jelani Survives, he's been doing good in coverage, since he lost the weight. But the biggest name really has been Will Harris coming out of minicamp, this defensive star. All right, next up we have some injuries to take a look at. All right, so the following guys is here up on the screen. They have missed some times due to some injuries. Damian Ratley and Jeff Okuda banged heads the other day. They both showed up today with some bandages on their heads just because they banged heads doing some one-on-one drills. Reeves Mayman came up limp the other day. Jared Jacobs and defensive end Austin Bryant all missing time with some injuries. They're all minor injuries, and they're all expected to be okay for the Lions training camp coming up next month. But I'm glad we're not seeing any really serious injuries coming out. I think the team is being really cautious with these guys, and if someone tweaks something, they're making sure that they get the treatment they need to get, so they're not definitely getting hurt during this training sessions. It's making them competitive, but they don't want to make it where it's so competitive that people are getting hurt. So I like that approach by the coaching staff. And one last thing, the defense has been playing well. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but they've been buying into Aaron Glenn's scheme, and they've been playing pretty well during the 7-on-7s, keeping the offense out of the end zone for the most part. But Jared Goff, I think the first and second day, they kind of shut the offense down, but they came back that third day and they really ratcheted it up, and Jared Goff took it a little personal and he said, "Screw that, we're gonna go ahead and score some points on y'all." So big up to Jared Goff for for going against this defense, who's been playing pretty well under the tutelage of Aaron Glenn and company. So that is Defend the Den this week. All right, thank you for watching just tuning in to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video. If you're watching on Facebook, definitely give us a like, share it with your friends over there on Facebook. And if you haven't done so already, become a member of our Facebook page. Shawnee J does an excellent job keeping you updated on all Lions news and rumors over there on our Facebook page. So please feel free to go ahead and like the Facebook page. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about a little more Detroit Lions news, and we're going to see what's going on around the NFL in 2 Points Conversing. All right, we're back from the break. Now it's time for 2 Points Conversing. Now, this topic, the first thing we definitely want to talk about this week is Tyrelcrosby happy to be in camp, spent time with his family during the absence. He said the only reason why he missed some time because of the fact that he didn't have OTAs last year. This is because of the pandemic. So he said he really didn't need them this year. So he spent some time with his family, hung out with them. He said it wasn't nothing about the contract. He said he didn't really need OTA, so he came back into building. Right now, he came back. He reported for the minicamp, but I know Shawnee J had something to talk about with Tyrelcrosby.
Yes, I know we talked about him on the past couple podcasts, but it's worth saying I'm glad he's back. I'm just happy to see him back. There's a lot of speculation about will he hold out, will he show up. I'm glad he showed up. Yes, He's in the last year of his contract. You might as well keep him. He's a very good player. I would have been very happy and content if he was named the starting right tackle for the Lions. Yeah, that's where we disagree. But,
I'm not. You should go start him over Penei Sewell? Nah.
Well, no. Before, if we didn't draft Penei.
Oh, if we didn't draft Penei Sewell, I'm still saying nah. He's not a starting right tackle, man. We disagree on this. We talked about this before. We disagree with it before, but go ahead and make your rest of your point.
Yes, so the rest of my point is. He's still very valuable. Okay, you may not think he's a full-time starter, but he's, we need depth. Yep. In case of injuries, to Penei Sewell. Like I said, Penei Sewell, they switched him from left tackle to right tackle, and Penei said many times the switch to right tackle is not as easy as he thought it would be, and he admitted it's not that easy. And like I said, remember I was worried about him. Who's that guy from Northwestern you wanted?
You talking about Rashawn Slater? Yes,
the two, they're talented, but they're both left tackles. Yeah. And the movement, because we're having left tackle in Decker. Yeah. And moving the right tackle, like I said, everybody can't make that adjustment. Well, I'm hoping I'm pulling for Penei, but still, Crosby is a very good, talented, valuable backup. He can play either tackle position, maybe even guard.
He can play guard too. Yeah.
So like I said, that's a valuable asset to have on your team for at least one more year. If he walks after this year, so what? I mean. Use them while you have them. And if you want to trade them, how much could you really expect to get back for them? So you might as well keep that asset on your team instead of give away to somebody else.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I understand exactly where you're coming from. The only thing I think he's a great depth player. I like him as a swing tackle. He's a good depth guy. You can get a couple good starts out of him during the season. I just don't think he's a long-term solution as a starter, but I do like him as a rotational piece and somebody who can definitely spell some guys. So I agree with you 100% on that. All right, next up we have Julio Jones, man, traded to the Tennessee Titans for a 2021 second-round pick and a 2023 fourth-round pick. Johnny J, Julio Jones leaving the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think about Julio going to the Tennessee Titans?
Once again, the rich gets richer. I know Tennessee lost a couple receivers. They lost Corey Davis, and they lost another guy, but they got another big guy. And Julio's a monster. He's a receiver who's built more like almost like a defensive lineman. He's built and talented. He's a mini Calvin Johnson, I like Julio. I kind of want the Lions to get him up here. They could have paid that price that Tennessee paid, but evidently, once again, we got some young receivers who are talented. Give him a chance. And
Yeah.
Julio, like I said, he's getting older. He's 32 years old and is going to his 11th season. He had some injuries the past couple of years, so that was and a big contract. So those were deterrents for the Lions, trading for him.
Yeah.
And the Titans, they feel like they're close. They might be the final piece, so they went for a good move on them.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still say this is not a rebuilding season for us because we got a veteran quarterback, a young veteran quarterback who's already been to a Super Bowl and 2 Pro Bowls. So that's something we're trying to rebuild. If we got a rookie and some scrubs backing them up, yeah, that's a rebuild. But no, the Lions are not rebuild bowl fans.
Okay, I feel you on that. I disagree with that. I think they're not in the rebuild. They're in the build mode. I don't think they rebuild and they can't rebuild something that wasn't there. They building. All right. So next up we have this is a sad story. Cleveland Browns chief of staff. Now she was the first female chief of staff in the NFL for a coaching staff. Callie Brownson was suspended after she had her DUI the other day. Blew well over the legal limit. We just don't want to see that. Now with the reports out, she's not going to lose her job. She's been suspended. She will serve out her suspension, and then we'll be back with the team after her suspension has concluded. And it probably will have to do with any type of legal proceedings. But she hasn't lost her job. She just she's been suspended after she got a DUI. You got to be careful with that, people. That's you putting people's lives in your hand when you're doing that. Driving.
How long was she on the job before she had this DUI?
So again, she's only had it for this season. She got hired earlier this spring in that position.
Oh, only for a couple months. Well,
yeah.
I guess she got too full of herself and she's a little humbling.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I can't say that, man. I can't put words in her. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, she may have a substance abuse issue. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. Alcoholism or something like that, that's a disease. And, I have some people in my family that suffer from that. So I can't speak on that, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it comes out when you have something like that DUI. But, it is what it is. But, we just reporting the news right here. All right. And the last topic for 2 Points Conversing this week is something that is kind of different. You don't really see this with pro programs. The San Francisco 49ers ended their offseason workout program after a pair of season-ending injuries. They had a couple of players tear ACLs, and they just had some season-ending injuries in the offseason OTA voluntary workout program. So the 49ers just shut it down. That's something that doesn't happen on the pro level that much.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen the past other years I've been following football. You guys get hurt and, like I said, get a season-ending injury in OTAs or off-season workout in the weight room or something. It happens. You don't want to see it happen. I like seeing it happen. Yeah. I worry about my star players on the Lions, and I don't want to see it happen even star players on other teams, because, karma, because they've happened to them, it can happen to us. But, right. Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's a tough break. I mean, these workouts are necessary. They're necessary evil, if you will, because football is a year-round sport. You don't wait to a training camp to get in shape anymore. Guys work out all year round on their own or at the OTAs, which brings up a point I was going to ask. These mini camps, these 3-day mini camps are necessary evil, but can you actually learn or glean anything or project anything from, like you said, like a Victor Bolden who looks good in minicamp? Well, that means he's going to look good this season?
Well, I think what you can glean from, especially with a new regime like, Dan Campbell, he got a new coaching staff, you can look at who's picking up the system. You know what I'm saying? Like who's making the adjustments, who's really learning the playbook, who's studying, and who's doing what they need to do to compete for their roster spot. So that's what you can glean in the OTA system or the voluntary workouts. So you can kind of see who's taking to the playbook or who's really putting their best foot forward, and making the most of the opportunities in front of the new coaching staff. I mean that you can get, and even for a new what do you call that? A coaching staff that's been there for a while. like the guys out in Pittsburgh. You still got some new guys that's coming in on that roster. You know, you looking at your free agents that's coming in or your rookies, and you kind of seeing how they fit in, and you can know where you need to place them in your system. So, and I think, but I like the way that Dan Campbell and those guys are taking this kind of approach to it, where they're doing stuff where they're implementing these drills and doing things, and they're making it fun and they're making it competitive. But there's elements of in that competition where they're doing elements of what's going on in the playbook. So you have things where they're competing, but they're actually really learning as well. So I think that approach and that being loose and having fun and not being overly exertive in it because of the fact that you don't want players getting hurt and they're being cautious with it. So, but you can learn some things. I don't think you're going to learn who's going to actually make your roster, you know what I'm saying, in the OTAs, but it gives you an idea of who's going to be who's going to be stepping up in that on your roster when it comes to training camp here coming up next month.
Okay, because the definitely got to stay in shape. Football, I guess that's like I said last year. You saw during the COVID season when teams couldn't really work out or have OTAs and weight training. You see, it showed a lot of teams, especially the Lions, with the number of injuries they had.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to see who was going to be our strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
And will it make it? And like you said, the new system Lions put, not just that.
Yeah.
But the health and wellness,
sports science, the sports science guys. Yeah.
So.
So they're taking a holistic approach to making sure that the Lions, the players can keep them on the field. So. But that's 2 points conversing this week, man. Just talk about some good topics, especially what's going on around the league. You know what I'm saying? You hate to see the tragedy happen out there in San Francisco, but they're being cautious with their roster and they won't come back until actual training camp next month. And, just want to see what's going on around the league. Now we have the member quote, the member of the Den quote of the show. We have a comment from Rob Smith from the last show, and he gave me who his standout player was for the upcoming season on the defensive side of the ball. He says, for defense, I heard Jeff Okudah made a play he wouldn't have made last year. Looks better. The sports hernia was an issue with his burst of speed. I think it was a groin. Speed he needed. Tracy Walker has looked rough. He's the best looking on the team, but the other safeties do not look like they belong on the NFL active roster. Now, if you look at this, I think he's coming from the Jeff Risen put out a video the other day about this. He concludes it. He says, my defensive breakout player of the year is going to be Julian Okwara, Romeo's little brother. I hope he gets about 6.5 sacks and double digits tackles for loss. Hey, thank you for that comment, my man. We really appreciate that. Rob Swift, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the comment. We really appreciate that. And, keep making those comments and we'll keep putting them in the show, people. So to get your comment on the show, just comment on the video, either be it Facebook or YouTube, and it has a shot on making the next show.
Yeah, very good. I would like to hear your feedback from Lions fans.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, now it's time to close out the show. Shauna J, give me your final thoughts on what you thought about the Lions minicamp.
Well, I see, I hear a lot of good things. It's better to hear positive things than negative things. Oh, this guy really blows. This guy looks slow on our street. It's better to hear the positive. But, I learned not to get overly excited about what I hear come out of OTAs or minicamp because, like I said, it's not the real thing. It's dress rehearsals. It's kind of like the combine in a sense, Oh, yeah, it's good to see if a guy has great speed. He's strong. He can do 30 reps at 225 and has blazing speed and good works the cones. But will that turn him into a all-pro football player? Not necessarily. We just wait and see when he plays. So it's good to hear positive news come out of OTAs, but I'm tempering my expectations.
Definitely. It's t-shirt and shorts, man. It's just shorts with helmets. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is, man. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I said the same the other day. Just kind of temper what you got going on. You can get a measure, you know what I'm saying, of what guys can do. But, until it's full contact, full speed, yeah, like you said, temper your expectations. All right, Shawnee J. All right, give me what's your parting shout for the people today?
Well, people, I say it every week. I'm gonna say it again. It's COVID's not over yet. I know. Here in Michigan, they're trying to reopen everything and allow more fans to games. NFL wants sellouts, so is college football. I'm not so sure about that. That's sellouts anyway. But regardless, always stay safe. Continue to wear your mask whether you got vaccinated or not. Wash your hands and still keep a good social distance because this COVID hasn't gone anywhere. It's still here. People are still catching it, so be careful, people.
All right. Tell the people how they can find you on social media, my man.
Once again, my full name is Sean Jennings. You can find me on Facebook. That's what I'm really using. I love going on Facebook, especially when I update our pages. Check us out, the Die Hard Den page. It's a public page. You can find it. I'm always there. So is Curtis, and you can send me a friend request. I'd be happy to add you as a friend or add you to our other group, Lions Group, the best on Facebook, Detroit Lions Truest fans. I keep everybody informed and entertained. So if you send me a request, you want to join the group, I'd be happy to add you there too.
Yes, definitely. All right. So my final thoughts for the show is definitely like Shawnee J says, just keep a tempered expectation, people, of what's going to happen. It's just minicamp, but they have another round of OTAs next week, and then they'll be on their break. And we'll be going on break as well. After next week's show, we'll be going on our hiatus until training camp. So we have one more show left before our summer hiatus. So tune in next week. Definitely, we're going to have that coming up. And my thoughts for my shouting parts out to you is, spend some time with your family, love one another, and just be safe out there. And, treat everyone with dignity and respect. That's all I can really say about that. Definitely, you can find the show at Die Hard Den Pod C1 on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Curtis Steele 14 on both platforms. That's CurtisSteele 14 on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the show on Instagram at die_hard_den_podcast. And of course, you can go check out our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Die Hard Den Podcast. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Die Hard Den Podcast presented by Detroit Lions of the Proud. Again, if you are watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you also, you can click the notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on the Die Hard Den Podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Proud on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. And if you're watching on Facebook, subscribe to the Facebook page, like it, share the video, and feel to comment on both either Facebook or YouTube. Thank you very much. Like, we get your comment as a member of the Den quote of the show, just like my man Ross Swift did this week. It is Thursday night. Tomorrow we probably have some more press conferences going on, but go over and check out your boy Curt Steele. I'm over on Detroit Lions on the Prowl as well. Tomorrow is our Free for All Friday as we do this, and you can go over and check it out. It's available for streaming anytime after 11 o'clock. So this show will be available right after that show airs. So make sure you go over there and check it out. All right. So as you go about your day, you know what you got to do, baby. You got to bounce up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Shawnee J, this is Curt Steele, and we are